Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining me. I do all kinds of videos about just like lifestyle videos, vlogs, living with chronic illness. I talk about being pregnant, but I also really like to talk about budgeting and personal finance because it's something that has been really helpful for me. My husband and I have a lot of debt, but we're currently saving for a baby. Which is turning out to be very confusing. Do not look my best, and I had every intention of putting on makeup. And the only reason normally I don't care if I'm wearing makeup or not, to be honest, but I woke up at 4:30 a.m. this morning from a nightmare, and I couldn't go back to sleep, and I have been dealing with a lot of anxiety around my health, which if you watched one of my previous vlogs, I'll link it if I remember. I kind of talk about where that's coming from. So anyway, if I seem a little bit off today, that's why. This is who I am and what I look like, but I just want to give you a little disclaimer that if I'm a little bit flighty, that's why. I'm very tired. Today, I'm going to take you through my October budget with me, what I'm planning to budget for October, what that looks like, and then as always, you can always watch like my budget recaps if you want to see at the end of the month what we actually spent and what we didn't. So let's jump into the video, and if I sound out of breath, it's because I am pregnant. Okay, so here is my budget. As always, I have my income blocked out, but you can kind of see about how much we bring in between the two of us. I don't know, so one of the things that's coming up in September, I'm actually filming this the beginning of September because we are headed out on a family trip here soon, so I wouldn't have had time to film this and get this up before the end of the month, so I wanted to film it early. So with that, there's a chance that we might be getting like some gifts and stuff for our baby showers when we're home in September, and we'll be using some of that money to buy stuff. I'm guessing a lot of people might not buy stuff from our registry because we live in North Carolina. Our families live in Illinois and Wisconsin, and we asked them not to buy us a bunch of gifts because we aren't able to like bring them back with us. So anyway, this may change, but as of right now, this is like what it looks like. Our fixed expenses are always the same. So if you guys have watched these videos before, you've seen this before, but again, rent, renter's insurance, a couple of subscriptions we have, gym membership, Kindle Unlimited, car insurance, Ben's phone, all this stuff. So this pretty much stays the same or is within a couple dollars of each other. Our debt also pretty much stays the same until the end of the year when the debt like relief stuff kicks in. That should affect both Ben and I, as long as nothing happens in the next month that I'm filming this. But like it should wipe out one of Ben's debts, and then for me it'll wipe out part of one of my debts. So while that's great in the long run, we will actually be having another payment added back in that we haven't had to pay since the beginning of COVID. So but that's not something I'm worried about right now. So our debt is pretty much the same. As always, if you've watched these videos before, we have a personal loan. This is a personal loan. This is a credit card. It's in yellow because the amount changes every month. This is another personal loan for Ben. This is our car loan. We have one car, and I think we have a pretty dang good loan for that one car, as long as nothing happens to our car. And then these are our student loans. So this one, and this one are Ben's loans. We believe this one is going to be paid off by debt relief because I think Ben only has about $9,000 left on that one. Yeah, that's a loan. And then these are my two student loans. The Great Lakes student loan is the one. I have $16,000 left on that loan. I went to private schools, so I have a lot of debt. But that loan will basically be cut more than in half, which is amazing, but we will have a payment that'll be added back in once we have to start paying that again. And then this is my like private loan that I have. Also, Finn is in the background if you hear. I don't think you can see him, but he's back there if you hear him. My little golden retriever, one of the two. Okay, so moving on to variable expenses. This is kind of the area that changes the most, and I think it's the most interesting to track. This is where we can get in trouble, and this is also where we can like save some money. So For groceries, I have budgeted $7.50. Again, I always hate saying if you're new here, but I feel like I'm having more and more new people watch these videos, so I'm trying to like explain things that I've explained for years doing these videos. But Ben and I both have chronic illness, chronic health issues. So there are certain foods, like Ben can't eat dairy. I'm not supposed to eat dairy or gluten. With being pregnant, I'm a little bit more relaxed on stuff just because sometimes I just need to eat whatever I can get into my body. So our groceries are a little bit higher because we buy organic, we buy, you know, grass-fed, we buy like specialty items that are gluten-free or dairy-free, like dairy-free cheeses, gluten-free bread, things like that, which tend to be a little bit more expensive. So that's why our grocery bill is much higher than some people in the budgeting world, you know, really cut costs on their groceries. And I think that that's so amazing. And that's the way that both Ben and I grew up. But right now it makes more sense for us to budget more for groceries so we can budget less for health. So that's kind of where we're at with that. Costco, I have 150. I'm not really sure if we'll actually spend that or not. But I did budget a good amount. Sometimes we get like clothes from Costco, or we'll get like, you know, like things from Costco, not just food. So I like to pull that out of the grocery budgets just so it's like visible. Restaurants and coffee shops, I have at 250. One thing that is happening in October is we're going on our Babymoon, as long as nothing happens with my health that I need to stay home. But we are driving to the mountains. We live in North Carolina. We live in like the Raleigh area. So we're gonna drive closer to Asheville, like the mountain area, and stay there for a weekend. So I didn't up our budget for restaurants and coffee shops or groceries, but I'm hoping that like we'll be able to stay within those while we're out as well. We've been doing much better on both of those categories, so that's great. Medication and supplements I kept at 200. That's for like my thyroid medication, any stuff that I have to take for pregnancy, like Colace, a stool softener, or what do I take? Tums, like, you know, just things like that that pop up. Plus Ben takes a lot of supplements, so he purchases quite a few supplements. I take things like prenatal, probiotic, things like that. So that's what that's for. Household, I knocked up to 100. I've had that in miscellaneous at 50 for like ever, and it doesn't make sense because I always go over that, so I just bumped those up a little bit. Beauty, I have 100 because Ben probably will have a haircut and I'll get my nails done, so that'll be about 100. I also put over here in my little notes section, if you guys can see it, November I have a hair appointment, so the next budget I'll budget, sorry, that was a loud car. I'll budget a lot more because my hair is pretty expensive, but I only get my hair done like 2 or 3 times a year, so. And then personal spending, I did up. Usually this is like at 50 or 100 because we don't really buy a ton of, well, some months we do, but we don't tend to buy a ton of personal spending stuff. But because we do have our Babymoon, I'm contemplating getting like a prenatal massage while I'm on my Babymoon. Or just if we want to like pick up little cutesy things from the town or things like that that we're staying in. I wanted to give us a little bit more money. Therapy is about $50 a month. I pay $25 a session and I have 2 sessions a month. Doctors, I have 0 because I don't pay any copays right now for the OBGYN because I have this huge obstetric fee that I pay or will be paying if I haven't paid it yet when this video comes out. So that kind of covers that. And I'm not seeing my naturopath, so I don't have any copays or anything like that that I'm expecting in October. So I just have that at 0 for now. Utilities is at 300. We're usually right under that or right above that. Car, I have at 250. That is a little bit up than normal because we'll have things like possibly tolls, but we'll have like gas and stuff to get into the mountains. Cora and Finn, I have at 150 because Finn's, he's been on like this wellness plan that we've been paying for like a year. So that I believe is ending in September. So I don't think we'll have a payment in October, so I took it out, but there is a possibility that that may be wrong, but it is what it is. So baby stuff. I upped this budget. We didn't even have a baby line item. I don't think I even have one in September, but I've just noticed I've been putting it under like personal spending, things like that. And because October will be after our baby shower, we will start to purchase things ourselves that we didn't get. So that's why if we get any money from the baby shower, I'll put that into our income, and that'll kind of help fund that $300. I'm not saying we won't spend more or less than that. I have no idea, but I just wanted to like put a couple $100 in there, just in case. Like, the other thing is there's like Black Friday coming up in November, but that's the end of November and I'm due December 21st. Now, who knows? I came 2 weeks early. Nobody knows when a baby is going to come. So I don't necessarily want to leave things that we'll need, like for sure need, you know, like a bassinet, until then, because if there's like shipping issues or something, I just don't want to deal with that. So I'll probably buy things like the bassinet if we don't get that at the shower, or like diaper, like things like that, you know? So that's kind of, I did finally make a little baby stuff line item, and we'll see as the baby continues and comes out and grows and stuff what that budget looks like, because obviously I've only ever budgeted for 2 people before, so we'll see. And then miscellaneous, oh, I didn't fix this. And then miscellaneous, I just bumped up to 100. That's just like random stuff that pops up that doesn't fully fit in any other category, but, or maybe it like kind of does, but I wasn't planning for that, so I put it in miscellaneous, you know what I mean? So that's what I have there. And then birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, we don't have anything in October. Savings, if you guys, like, that will change, that changes every month. So every month, whatever I have income-wise left over, like our rollover, because I don't do a zero-based budget, we take that and put that into savings. So at the end of September, if I have $500 left over, I will change this to 500, and then I'll pull out 500 and put that into our savings. And then I also pull $1,000 straight from my business every month into our savings. So that's constantly happening. Every month there is, you know, $1,000 coming in from over there. So that's how we've been able to pay for things like the obstetric fee and paying for the doula and things like that from our savings, because we're constantly refilling it. That's been our goal versus attacking debt the last few months, and will be until the foreseeable future, until like we get a handle on like what it's going to look like with a baby and what that looks like price wise, and you know how much the hospital bills are and stuff like that. So we're just trying to continue to fill that, which has been really helpful, because when things come up that we aren't expecting, we've been able to pull from that, and we're not worried about it like affecting us or having to put something on credit or something like that. So we loosely use our savings for whatever we need. And then Amazon Prime, I don't believe comes out until December. I don't remember. Thrive Market doesn't come out until May. And then travel, we already paid for the place that we're staying. So this is usually like accommodations, like Airbnbs, hotels, things like that. So we already paid for that. So instead of adding anything to this travel budget, I've just already added it into the budget line items, like I told you, with like gas and personal spending and restaurants, things like that. So that's where we're at. I'm expecting that we're gonna spend about $6,700 next month out of our budget. I'm hoping that we'll have $500 left over. That's kind of our buffer, if you will. And if we do, that in November will be pulled over to our savings. So that is what my October budget is going to look like. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I really appreciate all of you following along and, you know, caring about our debt journey so much. I've really appreciated all the comments and support that you guys have left for me, especially this last year. I just feel like the people in this community have been like so kind and uplifting. And I know that sometimes the debt community doesn't feel that way. And that's, it doesn't feel realistic for everybody, which is why I wanted to start filming and doing videos and like showing what life looks like when you can't just like cut everything from your budget, but you still have debt. So anyway, I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Finn's coming back in. Hi, Bubby. And I'll see you in the next one.